Well, something's very wrong with that, because the dream he had that manifested that was a sexual perverted dream.
In the past couple of years, like I feel like I've experienced succubus.
Every night something would come in my room and it would climb on top of me and it would literally just hold me down and fight with me. And it told me one day, I heard it, it said, "You're mine and I'll never let you go."
Before we get this video started, I just came across some news that over 90% of people who watch these videos on my channel are not subscribed. So if you aren't subscribed, subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video, share the video across the world, and I'll see you at the end, all right? Enjoy the video. Welcome back to the channel, my brothers and sisters in Christ. How you doing today? Now, today is part 2 of the human spirit from the excerpt for The Truth Behind Hip Hop, 6 Detained for Entry. Now, this goes into a little bit more deeper dive into sleep paralysis, what we were talking about in the last video, because a couple videos ago I made a video of me going through sleep paralysis myself, and this video is kind of giving a the last video before this one, part 1, was giving an insight of the enemy's attack. Now this one, I believe, will dive deeper into what happens when we have sleep paralysis and who is taking over, who is taking control. All right, so be vigilant, stay watchful, and let's go ahead and start the video.
Your most vulnerable moment is when you're asleep. And a lot of times the enemy comes when you're asleep. These spirits, incubus and succubus, are very, very real, and they're being dealt with a lot, especially now. A lot of people are having sexual dreams and actually having physical releases. They have a scientific name for it for young boys. They call it a wet dream. And it's when a boy actually ejaculates in his sleep. Well, something's very wrong with that, because the dream he had that manifested that was a sexual perverted dream. And there was something very real that came in his room. And while he thought he may have been asleep, there was something really going on while he laid there. Incubus and succubus. Incubus is the non-physical, immaterial male sexual partner in congressus subtilis, which is sexual union with a non-physical or astral entity. I'll talk about astral in just a minute. Succubus is the non-physical, immaterial female sex partner. So the young girls mostly experience incubus, young boys experience succubus, or not young at all. Grown women, everything. They experience this, and these are kindred to what they call a mare demon. The Latin word for nightmare is incubo, which means to lie up on. That's where we get the word nightmare. In Africa, they call these spirits the night husband and night wife. You know why they call it that? Because most young ladies that experience this incubus spirit coming in can't get married. You ever met women that you just know should have been married a long time ago, then they're reaching 30 and 40 years old? No husband. You know why? Because this is a very jealous spirit. So when this spirit latches on and it's coming in the night, and it comes with a familiar face, that's why it's a familiar spirit. So it'll come as somebody you may know, or somebody you may fantasize about, or some recording artist, a movie star. It may come as in that form, but it'll come in and it'll jump on you, and you'll feel it, and it'll feel very real. And then every relationship you try to embark upon, something bad happens and it gets canceled, and they run the man off. He don't want you. You knew it was a good relationship. You knew, I'm just about to get married. Sometimes you can't even have kids, and you wonder what is going on. It's because that jealous spirit won't let you go.
And that's a scary feeling, dog. In my youth, and even in the past couple of years, like I feel like I've experienced succubus. I've had dreams that felt too real to be real. Like while I was sleeping, like I know I'm not in the real world, but it just feels so real. And it's definitely demonic, because you have to be very vigilant and understand where it's coming from. This just doesn't happen by chance. You know exactly what is happening right now when it happens to you, and it's hard to pull yourself out of it, especially for me when I was starting out in my faith, because like I would get those dreams as soon as I started getting to my faith. I started having those dreams, and even beforehand, like when I was growing up, like I had those dreams like when I was in high school about certain girls or whatnot. And a couple years ago when I came to my faith, I had the same thing about a certain girl. And it was weird, because it felt too real to be true. And I was like, I know this is a dream. I know this is a dream. I had to wake up. But it's just something in me that couldn't wake up. And so now it's like every time I pray to God before I sleep. I pray for the protection. I pray for that the demonic spirit, succubus or incubus, does not get into a hold of my brain, a hold of my body, because stuff is real, dog. It is this. It's not. I wouldn't say it's the scariest thing I've encountered, but it is something that does keep me on my toes, and it makes me more watchful of my prayer. It makes me more alert at the gate. It makes me more vigilant to pray. It makes me more keen to pray and be aware. I'll continue.
I had a young girl who was experiencing this. She told me, she said, every night something would come in my room and it would climb on top of me and it would literally just hold me down and fight with me. And it told me one day, I heard it, it said, you're mine and I'll never let you go. She said, in every relationship she's ever been in, with every relationship with a man has failed. She could never have a good relationship with men. She never had one. It just, every man, something would always happen. She said, so finally there was this stud, this butch girl. And this girl came to her and said, well, I'll be your woman. She was like, okay, no men is working, so I'm going to try this girl. She said she never had any kind of sexual desires sexual relationship with this girl or nothing. This girl was just a stud that walked around and protected her. But what the girl was doing, because she violated something immorally, what happened was, she said in the middle of the night, something would come in her room, hold her down, and she couldn't get up. She said, I want to see what it is. So one night, she said she put a full-length mirror on the side of the bed so she could look in it. She said, and she waited that night. And she said, as soon as she felt like she was asleep, something came, it jumped on top of her. She said she woke up, looked in that mirror, and it was a winged woman over the bed, holding her down.
Must have been a scary sight to see.
It's real stuff, y'all. See, we so comfortable, we just don't believe this stuff can happen. Why would we believe that? Oh, but we come in church and we believe the power of God. We believe in that when we sing, the power of God will come down. We believe when somebody speaks in tongues that it's of God. We believe that when the sick is healed and all these supernatural things, they're all good when it's supernatural concerning Jesus. But we don't want to talk about the winged women that's coming in our bedroom, or the winged man, or the night husband that's keeping us from being married. And we've been single for so long and don't know why.
Scary world.
According to many church fathers, an incubi is an angel who fell because of lust. According to Hebrew legends, the incubi is a lewd demon child of Lilith, which seeks sexual intercourse with men and women and can assume either sex in order to have sex with humans. This is real stuff, and there are people in here right now know exactly what I'm talking about because it's happening to them. Or a lot of times when you're married, if you're married, these spirits, they come in a marriage and they'll come lay right in between you and your wife, and you'll have a dream that you and your wife are married, and some old girlfriend is you'll have a dream that girlfriend is laying in the bed with y'all, or that boyfriend. But it's not really a dream.
It's crazy, dog.
Can I keep going?
Come on.
Another way demons come into you is this one. Idolized entry. What is idolized entry? Jeremiah says, thus saith the Lord, cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departed from the Lord. What is he saying here? Idolized entry is when you idolize somebody. When you idolize a musician or an artist, and you got the picture up on the wall, and you're writing all the lyrics in your book, and you just, I just love him when I hear his song. He just make me feel so good. Y'all, I show pictures of artists in church, and young girls start screaming, they go crazy. You know why? Because that's their idol. They've idolized them. So once you idolize something, you give them a high place in your life. Who's the Lord of the high places? Who's the Lord of the things that fly? That's Baal. You just become a worshiper of Baal.
One thing I do want to point out, and I just thought about this. Growing up, I used to listen to a lot of rap, and even before I came to Christ, like one of my favorite rappers was like King Von, Lil Durk. Like I liked a lot of Chicago rap. And dog, it's like what we don't understand is like when we're listening to these lyrics and reciting them, it's like we're opening up a whole different portal to different demons. Because like when we talk about death in a fun way, and it's catchy, it's like you don't want to stop listening to it because the beat's nice, the lyrics are crazy, but it's like, bro, this song is crazy. This song is nice. I think that's what's so prevalent in the black community too, is that hip hop has just got a strangle on the black man and the black women. And I think that's one thing that like it's hard to let go, because right now like we need Jesus more than ever. Nobody gonna be rapping about Jesus. Like there are Christian rappers. I listen to them, and it's like it goes back to a previous video where I said like you are what you eat. Like pretty much you feed your soul, the gospel. You feed your soul to Jesus. Whatever you are listening to, eating, worshiping, whatever you're reading, like that's what your main like God is. Like my main God is Jesus Christ, man. So I listen to worship music, I read my Bible, I pray, I worship. And so like what you feed your spirit is, feed your soul is who you're going to become and who you are. And if we put the wrong things within our body, it's going to deteriorate us in a wrong way. I forgot where in the Bible it says this, but it says that it's like a thought leads to sin, and the sin leads to death. Forgot where in the Bible it says that, but anybody like I said in previous video, fact check me please, because whatever we are, we eat, bro. Whatever we eat, we are, dog. And one more thing too is like Satan has a funny way of just tricking everybody, like American Idol. You know what I mean? Like when he was saying like idolize, like the first thing that came to mind was American Idol. And so it's like he puts everything in plain sight for us to stumble. It's a stumbling block, and so we just got to be aware of the situation that we're in right now.
Baal's singers, Baal's performers, Baal's musicians, they're singing about sex, they're singing about drugs, they're singing about killing, they're singing about everything that is evil, and you just, your heart beats fast. You get this feeling. You have to go to the concert. You got to buy the CD. I don't care what Craige Lewis say. I'm going to listen to this because this music, I love this music. Idolized entry. Another way these demons come in to your human spirit, astral projection. Oh, see, a lot of folks in church don't want to touch this stuff, but it's very, very real. Astral projection, a lot of times when you sleep, you astral project, or you're not really asleep, or you're in between sleep, and your spirit, your human spirit, dislodges itself from your body to talk to God a lot of times. Job says it like this, Job 33, for God speaks the first time in one way, and then the second time in another, through a person, though the person does not perceive it. In a dream, a night vision, when deep sleep falls on people as they sleep in their beds, then he gives a revelation to people and terrifies them with warning. So he's talking about REM, deep sleep, when you are totally still. A lot of times God connects with your spirit and speaks there. So if God can do that, guess what? Astral projection or astral travel is an interpretation of any form of outer body experience that assumes the existence of an astral body, separate from the physical body and capable of traveling outside of it. Astral projection or travel denotes the astral body leaving the physical body to travel into the astral plane. So this is what it looks like. Yeah, this is what happens. People can actually pray. People can actually talk to shaman and use magic and witchcraft, and they can get down and sit down in this position right here, and they can send their spirit to your room. There are men that are paid to do this. There are famous people that go and pay people to do this. They even pray over music. They take the master. I got John Todd saying this, and then I also had a demon tell me this when I was casting him out of Kevin Thornton. And a demon told me that they take the master and they pray spells on the master so that the artist could astral project into the bedrooms of the young girls that are listening.
That's crazy. That's so demonic.
This is why they scream when I call their name or show their picture, because they feel like they know them. It's a familiar spirit. I know them. Why? Because they've been visited.
So demonic.
As soon as you lift your hands in worship to these artists, you open yourself up, and these guys know how to use this stuff, and they'll send spirits right to you. Coming in the night. Another way. Oh, this is a big one in America. I don't know about Canada. Yoga. Yes.
Oh man, scared me. That's I didn't know the video ended right there, but I was gonna let him talk, but let's talk about it. Yoga is definitely demonic. Actually, there's not really much for me to say out. It's just demonic. But I was so taken back. I wasn't expecting the video to end right there. But dang, that's crazy. I've heard about like people praying over their music beforehand, but like he just went a whole layer deep saying that they pray over it so that they can astral project and be in the rooms of girls and people so that they feel like they know them so that they understand them on a deeper level. Like, bro, there is so much that we do not know in this world. Like, it makes you think like the 200 fallen angels in the Old Testament when they fell down and they were mating with the women, the human women of this world, and teaching them like wicked things, not wicked things, but like witchcraft and spells and teachings of the outer plane, in the outer world. Like it really puts in perspective like what they're teaching. Like, what is everything in this world really mean? You know what I mean? Like, what do we know? What don't we know? And who knows everything? Like, who knows all the information about it? Like, it really makes you think. But again, in my comment box, like the video if you haven't already. So this video was presented to me in the comment section. If you have a video that you would like to share, let me know, and I'll go ahead and react to it, and we can react together, and you'll get a shout out and whatnot. So shout out to the person who recommended this video. But yeah, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, y'all stay safe. Y'all be blessed. All right, God bless you, and peace.